Hello, everyone, and welcome to The Explainer. I am so thrilled you're here with us. Today, we are taking a really fun, practical look at a fantastic A2 English learning guide titled Shopping Time. You know, if you've ever found yourself standing in a store, maybe pointing a little awkwardly at things because you weren't entirely sure how to ask for them in English, well, you are in exactly the right place. We're going to master the demonstratives, this, that, these, and those, and we're going to do it by jumping straight into real-life, everyday shopping situations.
So let's just set the textbook aside for a moment, all right? Instead of just memorizing boring grammar rules, we are going on a virtual shopping trip. The source material we're unpacking today brilliantly uses realistic environments to show English grammar actually in action. We'll be walking through a few different shops together. By seeing how these words are used in their natural habitat, you'll just naturally absorb the rules. It's honestly the most direct and engaging way to learn.
Here is our roadmap for today. 1. Buying clothes. 2. Choosing food. 3. Comparing products. And finally, 4. The grammar rules. But before we step into our first store, let's review some key vocabulary from our A2 guide. Pay close attention to these words: clothing store, supermarket, electronics store. We also have some fantastic adjectives for you: comfortable, expensive, cheaper, healthier, and a couple of specific product words: headphones and quality. As I say them, I really want you to focus on the pronunciation. Listen closely to how they sound, because you're definitely going to hear them throughout our shopping trip today.
All right, let's kick things off with Situation 1, buying clothes. Let's move to our first stop. Imagine we're inside a clothing store. In this situation, our shopper is looking for a new shirt and a pair of shoes. The core focus here is how we talk about items that are physically right in front of us, close enough to touch. Our shopper finds a shirt right in front of them and says, "I like this shirt. It is simple, comfortable, and the color is beautiful." Now, what's really interesting here is the word this. Notice how they didn't just say the shirt. Because they are holding it or standing right next to it, and because it is exactly one item, they use this. It's singular and it's near. And hey, it's $20, a great deal for this shirt.
Next, the store clerk asks the shopper to look at the shoes right next to them. The shopper replies, "Yes, I do. These shoes are very comfortable, but they are a little expensive." So the crucial point here is the shift in our grammar. We're still talking about something right next to us. But shoes, well, they always come in pairs, right? They're plural. So this becomes these shoes.
Let's look at the comparison here. On the left, this shirt, one item, nearby. On the right, these shoes, multiple items, nearby. The physical distance hasn't changed at all. Literally, the only thing that changed is how many items we are talking about. Singular near is this. Plural near is these. Beautifully simple, right? And by the way, the shopper ultimately decided to buy this shirt because it was cheaper.
Moving right along to Situation 2, choosing food.
Now imagine we are in a supermarket. Our shopper needs fruit, bread, and juice. But here, the rules of the game change a bit. We are no longer just looking at things in our hands. We're looking down the aisles, pointing at shelves that are far away from us. The guide gives us this great line from the clerk. "What about that cake over there?" Listen to that spatial language. Over there. It requires pointing. The cake is not within reach. Because it is a single cake and it is far away, we use the word that. The shopper actually responds that that cake looks delicious, but has too much sugar.
Next, our shopper's eyes wander over to the produce section, further down the aisle. The clerk prompts, "Look at the apples over there. Would you like those apples?" We have distance again, over there, but now we have multiple items, the apples. Because it's plural and far away, we use those. The shopper agrees, saying, "Yes, those apples look fresh and healthy."
Let's look at them side by side, just like we did in the clothing store. On the left, that cake. One item, far away. On the right, those apples. Multiple items, far away. The distance is exactly the same for both, out of arm's reach. But we switch from that to those simply because we went from a single cake to a whole pile of apples.
Okay, I want to pause our grammar exploration for just a second to ask you a quick comprehension question directly from our source material. Which product is healthier, the cake or the apples? If you remembered our shopper's dialogue, you'd know they said the apples are healthier than the cake. It's just a great example of how this guide seamlessly blends grammar with practical, everyday vocabulary.
Next up, Situation 3, comparing products.
Now we are in an electronics store.
What's really cool about this section of the source material is that it forces us to use all 4 of our demonstratives together. We're comparing products, some right in front of us and some across the room. The clerk asks which phone the shopper prefers. The response? I prefer this phone near me because it is smaller and cheaper. Notice how the guide explicitly adds near me to reinforce the rule. It's a single phone right in the shopper's hand, so it is unequivocally this phone.
But then, the shopper points to a phone inside a glass display case across the aisle, noting, that phone is more modern, but it is more expensive than this one. This is fantastic. In a single sentence, the text contrasts the faraway item, that phone, with the nearby item, this one. And by the way, that phone is $500, while this one is $300.
Next, they check out some audio gear. The shopper states, those headphones are cheaper, but these headphones are better. This brilliantly illustrates the contrast again, but this time in the plural. Those headphones on the distant shelf versus these headphones right here on the counter. Ultimately, the shopper chooses these headphones because they are more comfortable and have superior sound quality.
Finally, let's wrap up with Section 4, the grammar rules.
Okay, we've bought a shirt, some apples, and a great pair of headphones. We've done the field work. Let's synthesize everything we've learned into a simple, unforgettable matrix. Top left, near and singular is this. Bottom left, near and plural is these. Top right, far and singular is that. And bottom right, far and plural is those. The source material emphasizes a vital pronunciation tip here too. All 4 of these words start with a voiced TH sound. It's not a hard D or a soft T. It's a vibrating sound. Put your tongue between your teeth and literally make it buzz. This, these, that, those. Mastering that sound makes you sound incredibly natural. Beyond just the grammar, our A2 shopping guide leaves us with some really excellent real-world advice. At the end of the electronics store visit, the clerk asks if the cheapest product is always the best. The interviewee wisely answers, no, it is important to compare the price, quality, size, and usefulness before buying. And that's not just good English practice. That is simply smart shopping.
So the absolutely crucial point here is that this language is highly spatial. It's all about where you are in relation to the things you want. By paying attention to distance and quantity, you can navigate any English-speaking retail environment with total confidence. I'll leave you with this final thought. The next time you're out shopping in the real world, test yourself in your head. Will you be reaching for this item right in front of you or pointing to that one over there? Try it out and watch your English fluency grow. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and happy shopping!